In this short video, I'm going to be reviewing the headlamp that I used on the CDT last year. It's the Coast FL75R. It's an extremely bright rechargeable headlamp that has the ability to focus the beam from really narrow to really wide. Just some really quick specs on the headlamp. It is 530 lumens on its brightest setting. It weighs 3.2 ounces. It is $59.97 right now on Amazon, which is a really good deal. The link is going to be below. It does come in several different colours, I think 5 or 6. I really like this colour, it stands out quite well. And it is listed as being water resistant, not fully waterproof. There is an O-ring inside the battery compartment, and I did wear this in rain a few times and had no problems. I wouldn't want to fully submerge it though. I wouldn't trust it to be water resistant in that situation. So there are two buttons on the headlamp. It's very simple to operate. This one right here actuates the white light and this one actuates the red light. There's 3 different modes: high, medium and low. High is 530 lumens, medium is unlisted, and low is 65 lumens. 65 lumens is actually, I think, a little bit too bright for a low mode. I'd prefer something around probably 10 lumens. That's plenty of light to move around at night time or read a book in your tent. 65 lumens is quite bright for that situation, plus it uses obviously a lot more battery. In my opinion, it would be better if the headlamp had a memory mode, so when you turn it off and turn it back on again, it remembers what mode it was on when you turned it off and goes back on into that mode. But it is a really simple headlamp to operate. You know, click once for high, click once for medium, click again for low, and then once more and it turns itself off. So it is very simple. The red lamp, it basically just has on and off. A headlamp with red LEDs is absolutely essential as far as I'm concerned. That way I don't disturb people in the middle of the night if I do get up and I need to move around. The thing that kind of sets this headlamp apart is the ability to focus the beam. So by twisting this bezel here, you can focus the beam from extremely wide to extremely narrow. I thought this was going to be a little bit gimmicky at first, but I actually really like it. Normally I just walk around with it on wide for most situations, but if I'm hiking down a trail and it's fairly narrow, maybe I'll focus the beam a little bit at night time just to give me a bit more light on the actual trail. Or if I'm hunting for a campsite off in the distance, I can really narrow that beam. And it's almost like a spotlight, so I can see really far off into the distance to check to see if there's any flat spots around where I can maybe set up my tent. The strap on the headlamp they've got right, it's a really good strap. It's super comfortable. It's stretchy but not too stretchy. It adjusts like most headlamps of this type with a slide buckle here. I've never found that slipped at all. These little dots that you see here are actually like reflective dots, which makes the headlamp easier to find in the dark. The attachment point to the main body of the headlamp right here is very comfortable. It just sits against your head there, pretty comfy, and you can wear it for hours on end without it becoming uncomfortable. Another thing that kind of sets the headlamp apart is the ability to recharge the headlamp. This model comes with a rechargeable battery pack included. But what you can also do is you can remove that battery pack and you can use 3 AAA batteries. I really like this. This is the first headlamp I've had that's been rechargeable, and I'll never go back to a headlamp that you can't recharge, purely because I don't even have to think about buying new batteries. I keep the battery pack in there, charge it up every time I'm in town or every other time I'm in town, and if for any reason it does run out and I forgot to charge it, I can just take a micro USB cable and my external battery pack, which I'm carrying with me anyway on the trail, plug it in and it's good to go. The battery life is pretty decent. Again, I never really ran out of battery just because I'm the kind of person that will charge things even if they maybe don't need charging. A couple of people had the rechargeable version of this headlamp on the CDT, so one that just takes only AAA batteries, and they did report quite bad battery life on it. One other issue, probably the biggest issue of the headlamp, is that it is very easy to turn it on inside your backpack. Because you actuate the light with this button here, if it's inside your pack and it bumps up against something, it turns the light on. If you turn it on and it's on full power for anything more than a couple of hours, it's going to completely drain that battery. This is really annoying, but to combat that, what I would do is when I'm done, for example in the morning when I'm packing up, I grab the battery pack, I reverse it round and close it. You can't close it fully that way. Then I'd throw it inside the backpack, and then in the evening, you know, flip it back round again and be good to go. It is quite frustrating. I don't think you should have to do that. I think it should be designed in a way that it doesn't actuate accidentally, or you could just put a lock on there. A lot of other headlamps have like a little locking mechanism that you switch over, and then it doesn't turn on inside your pack. So overall it's a pretty good headlamp. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. If you want to pick up the headlamp, head over to Amazon, the link is going to be below. If you do purchase anything through those links, you help support this channel and it's no extra cost to you. So I hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the next one.